Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you? Wow, this light is bright today. This is the Taryn Lamb Show, Season 9, Episode number 13. Can you believe it? We are on Season 9, Episode number 13. So almost the end of Season 9. We've been doing this show for goodness well over 100 episodes. Thank you so much for joining me. Just a reminder that this episode, along with all others, are on my IG. So make sure you go and look at the prior episodes there. You can also go on Spotify at The Taryn Lamb Show, or TLS, and you can also go on Apple Podcast at The Taryn Lamb Show, or abbreviated as TLS. This episode is also going to be on YouTube, so you can go to the YouTube channel at I Am Taryn Lamb. So there's multiple platforms for you to follow and listen and like and learn and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. So again, this is the Taryn Lamb Show. I'm Taryn. I'm her. Season number 9, episode number 13. So I'm going to get my guest on today. And again, make sure you're liking, following, sharing, subscribing. Okay? Let's see. Severia. Girl, I'm glad you were able to make it. You're going to love this one, Steph. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Severia, are you there? Let's see. There she is.
Yay! I'm on the Taryn Lamb Show.
Say hi to Stephanie, Severia.
Hi.
So Stephanie, you're going to love this one. This is for you. Stephanie and I, Severia, so Stephanie and I talked earlier today, and I kind of gave her a sneak peek of your amazingness. So there's that. So you guys, this is the Taryn Lamb Show. I know, right? I can't wait either. This is the Taryn Lamb Show, season number 9, episode 13. We have Severia with us today. So, I was saying, I was posting and I was like, wow, you're just so amazing to me. Like, I kind of voyeur on your page and see what all the amazing things that you're doing. But I did mean it when I say you are just such a light to women, what you do and what you've created. I know we've met each other through kind of, empowering women. And I just kind of, see all that you do and all the amazing things that you do. And you do this for you guys. We're going to get into the topic of Severia really champions for women and empowers women with regards to financial independence. And you do this at a topic that we've talked about before is near and dear to my heart. But I think you also do it in such a friendly way. You have this great foundation that you founded amongst all these amazing women, which I see on your page. And I think it just builds just a wonderful community of women that are rocking the house, but also in a friendly way, if that makes sense. I feel like I know you for a long time. And I feel like I also know you to be just so helpful and empowering to women. So hi, Miriam. Oh, wow. Hi, Miriam. How are you?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Like a little reunion.
You remember Miriam?
Of course.
Yes. So, okay. So Severia, tell us about Unlock. Tell us about what you founded, and tell us about kind of how that came about.
100%. So first of all, thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure, is my sound good and all of that?
I can hear you. Miriam, can you, and Stephanie, can you hear okay? Give us a note in the chat if you can hear us okay.
Yeah.
But I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. So it's just such a pleasure to be here. Oh my gosh, all the way from New Zealand. Hey, I really hope everybody does that. Like, when you join, let us know where you're joining from, because that's really just inspiring and it gives me a lot of energy in life. I love having conversations like this, Taryn, just casual with friends on important topics. I think that, women have such strong relationship building skills. And sometimes we have blind spots in terms of what we could be doing and talking about with each other more that could really move our lives forward. And so it's fun to talk about, the happenings and, fashion and friends and vacations and food and what are you doing for the holidays. That is all very good and important topics. But I also think that we may be leaving our sisters behind a little bit because when it comes to like really important stuff, like our financial futures and stability, it's like, don't talk about that though. And so what does that leave? What does that create? Is that everybody's sort of on their side, figuring it out by themselves, which is the least efficient way to do anything, right? Like that's the least efficient way to learn. You can be self-taught, but schools exist for a reason. Community groups exist for a reason. You can learn a lot by being in community with others, learning collectively, sharing collectively, peer mentoring. And so that's really what myself and the other co-founders of Unlocked were thinking, which is all different backgrounds.
We did get a little, I think we're getting a little feedback. I don't know if it's me or you, but
Okay.
Let me see. Stephanie, can you hear that? Can you hear the feedback, or is it just me? Somebody tell us in the chat. But go ahead, keep talking.
So that is why the women of Unlocked, who have different backgrounds, different professional careers, said we should get together and start the conversation.
London, hello, London. This one's for you too. So this was a great one for you too, London. We should, Severia, we're talking about, London, we're talking about financial independence and how to get together and start that conversation. As women and as sisters in our communities, Severia was telling us that this is an often topic that's kind of left behind. And she was just beginning to tell us about Unlocked, which she has found to help us kind of unlock that key, if you will, to not leaving it behind. And most importantly, not leaving our sisters behind in the conversation about financial freedom.
That's right.
So, Severia, tell us a little bit more about Unlocked then.
Sure. So Unlocked is a New York registered nonprofit. It is available to anybody on this planet. We have 1,200 members in 12 countries. It is free to join. You just have to go to experienceunlocked.com. We are on Instagram at the Unlocked Experience. But really, we have kept the barrier to entry very low. There's like no barrier because we don't want to leave anybody behind. And really, what we do is host virtual and in-person programming where we bring women together to talk about money. But here's the thing. It's not just about the dollars and cents. Money is an emotional topic for a reason. A lot of people have money stories. A lot of people have worth issues connected in with those stories. And so we really try to take a very human and compassionate and woman-centered approach to the conversation, which is, first of all, we've got to build trust that we are able to have this conversation without it being triggering for people, right? Because people already hear it's kind of like money, math, all these things, worthiness, all this stuff comes up. I'm not good at this. I need my husband to manage it. I need somebody else to manage it. So we first try to build a community that is welcoming so that people can drop their guards and that people can feel at ease with their questions. The second thing is every stage of the journey is welcome. It's never too late to come to the money table. And there is no requirement, right, except for a desire to learn more. And so we definitely have that attitude of like, one, ladies, let's get relaxed around this topic, and then let's step into our power. Nobody's stupid. They're not teaching this stuff in school. I don't know why, but they're not teaching this stuff in school. You are not a bad person for not knowing something that nobody ever shared with you. The fact that you're curious is a beautiful start. And then we start to get into the substance, right? And I would say, we'll talk about this more. There's kind of a hierarchy of financial needs, and there's a place where Unlock plays kind of in that hierarchy.
Okay, so I'm interested in kind of like, I like the point that, it's like, look, you can come in at all levels, right? I was thinking about London, if you're still on. London's an entrepreneur.
Wonderful.
And so, I think that that's the interesting thing, right? You can come in at, you can be in corporate, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be at this level in your financial journey, you can be at that level in your financial journey. One of the questions that you and I talked about before is what is the best way to kind of get this started, right? To get your financial acumen started, even though you could be, who knows where we are, right? We're all at different places, but what's a good like baseline or tip or secret or whatever to get our financial acumen started so that we can become relaxed?
That's right. And I would actually say, first try to start from like a place of being relaxed, because there are a lot of people out here pretending to live a certain lifestyle, have a certain amount of money, and it's not real. And so it can be very intimidating for people where it's like, wow, everybody else has figured out how to become a millionaire overnight, and I'm here struggling to pay off this credit card bill. So you have to really ground into what's real. And some of the things that I think can be useful is like, just first of all, to get rid of this like imposter syndrome that you don't deserve to be at the table, just do a couple Google searches on like what income really constitutes the top 1%, right? And you'll actually see it's not like $250 million. Okay. Like America likes to sometimes pretend like everybody's Jeff Bezos. It's like, actually that number is a lot lower than you would think. Or it'll be like, what's the average income of somebody who lives in New York City, the big expensive city of the United States? And you'll be seeing those numbers and you're like, wow, no. So everybody is not a millionaire. Most people are not millionaires. Social media is a lie.
So
And I step to this table calmly.
that's what London's saying. People are really feeling this, on IG, right? And she's saying she said exactly, like it's a lie, right? And you just hit the nail on the head. So London, if you have London or Steph, if you have any questions for us, just type them in the chat. But yeah, that's just it, right? Like people are thinking, oh my gosh, everybody's got it figured out, and I'm the only one that doesn't have it figured out in all areas of life. But it definitely comes to our finances. And the thing about our finances is that we're afraid to talk about it. So some areas we're like, girl, my man is doing this crazy, that crazy. You got any advice on that? But we will not talk about our money, honey. We will not.
We won't.
We will be completely lost in the dark.
Completely lost. And so I'm saying, once you relax your mind, that you realize most Americans can't even afford $1,000 out of pocket emergency expense, right? So like that's just a wake up call, right? That like not everybody's rich. And a lot of people out here are struggling, and a lot of people out here are just like you. Then I would say, let's start to think about the pyramid. And the pyramid, we talk about like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like you need like shelter and then like emotional security, and you sort of go up. From a financial perspective, there's also a hierarchy. First is basic necessity, okay? You don't need to be worried about purchasing real estate and buying stocks if you can't eat, all right? Like
right.
There is, there is levels to this, right? And so I think part of it is having the sensitivity of the first level is basic necessity, right? Like, can you cover your necessities? Most of the people probably listening to this show can, and thank God that they can. Then the next level is getting into safety and security, and I'll talk more about what that is. But like safety and security is like, I'm not just living at a subsistence level. I am able to afford the life that I want. And I am secure in the life that I want, right? I'm able to pay my bills. Maybe it's paycheck to paycheck, but you are able to pay your bills. You aren't carrying, a significant amount of debt. You're paying whatever debt you do have. You've got sort of like a pathway to pay off, and you're fine. You're secure as long as you've got maybe a little savings account. As long as nothing too catastrophic happens in your life, you and yours are fine. The next level is getting into accumulating assets, right? And so this is, okay, I'm safe, I'm secure, but now I want to, money is actually meant to be grown. And if there's any hook from this podcast, like that's the hook right there, right? Money is meant to be grown, not earned, not spent, not saved, grown. And what do I mean by that is that the real unlock is when you're making money in your sleep. And why are you making money in your sleep? Because you have acquired assets, which are things that grow in value. And if they're not growing in value because you had to like till the land or work more hours, they're just, you wake up and this house is worth more than it was the last night when you fell asleep in it, or you wake up and that stock that you bought is worth more than it was yesterday when the market closed, right? So you want to start to put your money into things that are going to take that $1 and turn it into $3, turn it into $10, right? Without you having to do any more. My dad likes to call it paying yourself, right? You're giving yourself a raise. When you acquire assets that grow money, right, because of your choiceful decisions, you've paid yourself. You've given yourself a raise, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there, right? After that, the goal is really to have enough assets that you are now free. So see, a lot of people never have even thought about that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow of like, wait, what do you mean I'm free? You mean free when I retire and I turn 65? No, it doesn't have to be that way, right? It could be that you have planned your financial future such that you have enough assets that you're like, I figured out how much money I'm going to need to live off of. And then I've acquired enough assets that are going to give me enough money back that I could work or I could not work. And then you are financially free. And then I'm going to give you one last level, and that is legacy, right?
Right.
And by legacy, this is really, I think about my why. I'm not somebody who has any children. I'm not married. So on some level, it's like, why work? Why what do you do it for? Like, and I would say because, part of the gift of being born is you have the opportunity to leave this world a better place. And money can change lives. And you don't have to be Bill Gates or, Melinda Gates to have these massive foundations to do it. You can leave your assets to organizations that you can believe in. You can leave them money, but you can also leave them stock. You can also donate art to them. You can build a legacy that supports the things you believe in. And that's also part of financial freedom. And so this is the journey up the pyramid. No stage is a bad stage, but I want to paint that picture for people so that they can begin to think about, okay, where am I? Where am I on this continuum?
And be okay with where you are. That's the thing too. I think it's also like, that's the thing. I feel like, to your point, if people were like, I'm not at the tip of that pyramid, then I'm not even going to start, or I'm going to give in before I even get going. Like, and I think being okay with where you are in that pyramid at whatever stage you are in your life, you're like, oh man, I'm about to turn 50 and I'm just getting this pyramid started. So what? Like, you're getting the pyramid started. Like, don't be discouraged at any level you are, because let's face it, as women, we also have this age thing, right? Like, oh, we're getting older. We're not in the pyramid. Savannah talked about this top level, and I'm not going to make it there before I, make it to the other side. Don't be discouraged by that. And I think a lot of, I don't know, I can only speak for women, or speak for myself, but I do think about, okay, let's make sure I get there. How fast can I get there? And I'm like, like, you're going to land on 2 feet. Get there, but don't be discouraged because you're about to be 50 in December, and that is what it is. But I also believe in the one thing you said about giving back, and I really do think that's in part of, like, I don't know what I think about, like, you just have to give back. It's just, you just have to do it. The world works in that way, like, you can't hoard on to, all your riches. If you think about it spiritually, whether you do or not, you got to give back. You got to, like you said, we're here to make the world a better place. And we're also here to make each other better. So, tell me about some of the events, because I know that you were just at somewhere amazing, doing amazing things. Some of the events that people can participate in Unlocked, like either on virtually or, what do you have going on? I know people, obviously we had New Zealand. I know we had Chicago. I know we had Vegas. What are some of you got some different parts of the U.S. covered, and you're East Coast. What are some things people can participate in?
So first of all, let me say, if you're in the New York area at all, you should be definitely rolling up to our New York events. And I'm talking about if you're in Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, DC, come through. Our events try to be mindful of women's schedules. And so we don't have like a super packed agenda. We don't do like daily or weekly or even monthly events. Like we try to create space so that women can really plan ahead and dedicate that time for themselves. But we also travel. So, we traveled even the first year of our organization. We did a number of events in New York, but our last event of the year was in Miami during Art Basel. And I'm going to talk about that. There's a why behind this. And this year we're going back to Miami again, but we also were just in Paris, and we will film, certain of our content and we'll share it on experienceunlocked.com. We will share it on at the Unlocked Experience on Instagram. You can click link in bio to access some of that content. We've got content on YouTube. We've got content on Spotify, and we keep it short and sweet and snackable. 10-minute podcasts, because we think people are still digesting how much money talk they can take.
Yeah.
We try to make it like short and impactful and really move the listener to a place of, okay, I can do this. I'm ready to learn more. I love hearing that from members of our community. They're like, I'm ready to learn more. Like, give me more. That's the react. We want people leaning in. We want them pulling up to the money table. We don't want them running away from the money table, being like, because we've all been there, right? Like you're talking to somebody, you're like, I have no idea what they said. I'm just going to nod like I understand. And then like drink a glass of wine to get over the fact that I didn't understand a thing. So we want women to be like, oh, that's women are wonderful investors. So women are wonderful business owners. So we want people.
Is that the right one, Severia? Is that right?
What
she has in the chat? That your?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Women are wonderful investors. Women are wonderful business owners. So we should be pulling up. So what I would say is, follow our Instagram, and you can check out our calendar events. Our next event, I can already tell you right now, is December 7th in Miami for Art Basel. Now, why? What's the why? Why Paris? Why Art Basel, right? It's like, if there was a part of you that it all was like, that sounds fancy. I don't know about Art Basel. I don't know about going to Paris to the Olympics. Good. That's the feeling we want you to have. We were in the Hamptons in New York before that. If there's a part of you that's like, the Hamptons, I'm right. Good. That's the feeling we want you to have, because part of Unlocked, like the reason we're called Unlocked is because we want to start opening these doors that people's minds have told them are not for them. That's part of the continuum. People have in their mind, I'll never get to financial independence. I'll never get to legacy. I may not even accumulate assets, right? There's these mental blocks. And so what we try to do is be like, come with us. Come with us. We will hold your hand, and you will see that the people in this room do not have 3 eyes. They don't have 4 tongues. They don't hop on 6 legs. They're just like you. There's nothing, there's no place you don't belong.
You're getting some hearts on that one. I did a heart, but someone else did a heart too. But it's weird because when you do this thing on Instagram now, it does it for you, But I think that's a great idea. Fun facts that you probably didn't know about me. I actually did this when I used to live in LA. I did this organization called Think Big, and we used to meet, and I started it. We used to meet at all the 5-star hotels all the time, because it would be like, this is the same way, you belong here. I used to have them once a quarter all over Beverly Hills and LA in these hotels, and we would just meet, and I would just reserve a room. We would say, like, we would just go here for brunch and just chat. But it's like, Taryn, why did you pick the Beverly Hills Hotel? Like, why? Because you belong here too. We are, everybody in here, last time I checked, is going to check in and check out just like me. You know, everybody is just like me. And so I did that when I used to live in California. So I believe in that premise as well. Like, you belong here. And it's interesting because I used to have the, I don't know, I probably still do. Like, I'm not fancy dancy. There's no, I mean, I'm in my sweatshirt. There's nothing fancy dancy. You're going to catch me in scrubs or gym clothes. But I know where I belong. Whether it's in scrubs or gym clothes, I know I belong amongst. And it took me a while to understand that. And I could be amongst and still be authentically Taryn. And so that's like what I think I appreciate about what you're doing and what you just said is, hey, look, we're all in this boat together. We're all here together. None of us, you know, if one of us has three heads, we all have three heads because we're here, you know?
I love that you said that about that think big. And that's the other thing too is, you know, I had my own unlock where I had done this program at Johnson & Johnson called Elevate, which was, you know, I think this sweater actually came from that program, and the slogan was transform and inspire. And we'd have these really inspiring, awesome conversations with like amazing women. It was a pandemic program, and, you know, we had people tuning in all over the globe and the opportunity to speak to some really incredible women like Oprah Winfrey and Tory Burch and Vera Wang and, you know, Malali Yousafzai and Serena Williams. I mean, it was a life-changing experience. And Taryn was part of that. That's how we met. And after, you know, return to work and that project ended, it was like, okay, well, you know, maybe that's it for me. Like, maybe I'm not going to do any more work. I guess I'll just go back to my day job. I'm a lawyer. I'm an executive at Amazon. At the time, I was an attorney at Johnson & Johnson.
I'm laughing because I know you didn't believe that about yourself because I didn't. So that's
next. What's next?
I was waiting.
So I was invited to a dinner by the Tory Burch Foundation. And it was on the eve of their Embrace Ambition Summit. And this is must have been 2022, I think. And I was like, you know, I don't know if I should go to this dinner. The literal thought, I don't know if I should go to this dinner. I'm not going to know anybody there. You know, maybe they're going to talk about Elevate, and, you know, I just need to be moving onward. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'll go if they let me bring the women who, many of the women on the leadership team who helped me with that project. And so I asked for a +6 to a dinner. Have you ever asked for a +6 in your life? A +6.
No.
And they were so gracious that they did not laugh in my face. They're like, sure, bring 6 women. And so we go to this lovely dinner on the Upper East Side, this lovely restaurant. And gosh, so many incredible people are there. And I think the governor of New York was there, like just a lot of very glittering people. And it's time to take our seats. And they had done assigned seating at each table. And the room's full of tables. And it's time to sit down. And I'm looking as we all do I have my table number, and I'm looking, and I see that I've been seated at the same table with Tory Burch.
Oh, wow.
And I thought it must have been a mistake. I was like,
are you like, yeah.
I was like, is this the right? Am I supposed to be? And it was like, yeah, that's you. And in fact, see your name. And I sat down, and actually the founder of Fearless Fund was sitting at the table. I don't know if folks are familiar with her and her tremendous work to really funnel venture capital to Black women. And, you know, she's had a courageous legal fight that fortunately she was not vindicated in, but just some incredible women at this table, including Tory Burch. And at the end of that dinner, me and the other ladies gathered at a bar next door, and I said, I don't why we think we're done. I don't think we're done. If Tory Burch doesn't think that it's done, even though this program is over, the program had been over for 6 months, and she had been in the prior year, the Elevate program. And I'm like, if she's still interested in seeing what's next, why aren't we interested in seeing what's next for ourselves? And really, it was that night that we developed the concept for Unlocked. So all of us go through these moments where we forget who we are, and we don't get that the everything that we need is within us. You can learn stuff, but the grit, the creativity, the perseverance, the faith, the willingness to go after things, that's the most powerful stuff, and that's within you. And so we try through our events to bring women into spaces where they think like maybe it's not for them, so that they can get that mental unlocked of like, there's no space I don't belong, and there's no amount of money that I shouldn't have to be able to afford what I want.
That is so awesome. It's like a divine intervention, you know, like that was supposed to happen, right? But you do get those moments where you're like, man, I'm supposed to do something with this. I cannot let it fall, you know, like, yes, heart, whoever's saying heart, I agree. Heart. Okay. So it is 8:02. So Severia, we're going to have you back on, because I know we have much more to say and people are still giving hearts and we're over time, and I try to respect their time and your time. But for those who listen to the show, and I know you guys, I know Severia did not prepare for this. I know her, and this is a good one. Okay. So yes, London, of course. Make sure you go to Unlocked, London. You will definitely you know, I'm sure Severia would love to have you a part of it.
Yeah.
And you'll get a lot from the organization. So make sure you go. So London is, like I said, an entrepreneur. London, are you still in Vegas? It's so important to know you belong at the table. Exactly. London knows what I'm about to ask. And don't you say it either, London. Okay, she's following now. Okay, Severia, what you don't know about me is that one of my crazy hobbies or fun hobbies or caring hobbies is that I save cats. Aww. I know. It was good, right, Steph? Thank you for joining. So you know what they say about cats, curiosity, the cats. So the last question every guest gets is, what are you curious about? From the cats to Severia.
From the cats. Gracious. I'm curious to know if we can really change the culture that women have when it comes to talking about money. And I'm going to do everything in my power to see the answer to that question be a positive yes.
Thank you very much, Severia. I'm going to call you. So you guys make sure you're following all the platforms. Yes, hearts. We love you. Thank you for joining. And this is season 9, episode number 13. This is the Taryn Lamb Show. Make sure you are liking, following, sharing, subscribing, both Unlocked and Taryn Lamb. Until next time, guys, be good to yourself and each other. Till next time.
Thank you.
So I'll call you in a second.
Okay.